Today I shall discuss about general features of two-body scattering at high energy. Means we shall discuss nucleon-nucleon scattering at high energy. Till now we have discussed bound state of a nuclei and low energy nucleon-nucleon scattering. In low energy nucleon scattering, we have completed the discussion on neutron proton scattering below 10 MeV, proton proton scattering below 10 MeV, and neutron neutron scattering at low energy. We have discussed neutron proton scattering in detail and qualitative discussion of proton proton scattering up to 10 MeV. Now we shall discuss nucleon nucleon scattering at high energy. Before discussing it, we would like to compare what is the difference between low energy and high energy nucleon nucleon scattering, and on what points high energy nucleon nucleon scattering is beneficial or better than low energy nucleon nucleon scattering. As far as low energy nucleon nucleon scattering is concerned, data gave information on few orbital angular momentum states, say L equal to 0 states particularly. Further, the low energy experiments do not give any information about the details of the nuclear potential. Although the neutron problem and the low energy NP scattering give us information about the strength of the nuclear nucleon interactions, but no details about the distance dependence. More complete information about the nuclear forces, particularly the forces acting in higher orbital angular momentum states, means L equal to 1 or 2 or 3, can be obtained from high energy nucleon nucleon scattering experiments. For L equal to 0, the scattering distribution is isotropic in center of mass system. Isotropic means the scattering distribution when the particles are bombarded on a target, then the scattering of bombarding particles is isotropic, means similar or uniformly distributed. Scattering is uniformly distributed in center of mass system. This is referred to as S-wave scattering because we were limited only to the L equal to 0 scattering, or we can say that out of so many orbital angular momentum states, only the L equal to 0 scattering was predominant. For higher values of L, the scattering distribution no longer remains isotropic, and we have P, D, E, etc. etc. wave scattering corresponding to L equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. Another aspect of higher orbital angular momentum is that the de Broglie wavelength of the nucleon gets smaller. You can observe from this equation mvr is equal to LH upon 2 pi, where L is the orbital angular momentum, R is the, you can say, radius, V is the velocity of the bombarding nucleon, and m is its mass. This will give us R equal to LH upon P into 2 pi. And ultimately this will give us R equal to lambda L upon 2 pi. This implies that for R, the range of nuclear force, if we use the term R for the range of nuclear force, then lambda gets smaller for larger L values. Larger will be the L value, lambda will be small. A decrease in the de Broglie wavelength of the incident nucleon is desirable, as this will enable the probe to obtain information about nuclear dimensions and in particular details of potential at those distances. Therefore, in the scattering process, we would like to include higher angular momentum scattering also. At high energies, another important point is at high energies, because of the presence of higher angular momentum state waves, it becomes considerably harder to interpret the experimental data and relate them to theory. This is the one difficulty vis-a-vis to the low energy scattering, because there will be large amount of data, and to analyze this data becomes very difficult, since the number of parameters to be determined from the data is fairly large, whereas low energy NP scattering involves at the most 4 parameters, for example singlet and triplet states effective ranges and scattering lengths. The analysis of neutron proton scattering is still more complicated at high energy and difficult, since monoenergetic fast beams are not available. So this is the experimental difficulty in high energy NP scattering, because it's very difficult to obtain monoenergetic fast neutron beams. However, high energy proton proton scattering data are comparatively easier to interpret, mainly for the reasons that monoenergetic proton beams are very easily available, and Pauli's exclusion principle reduces the number of states in a given energy range to half of that in the case of neutron proton system in the same energy range. So we can say that as far as higher energy scattering is concerned, in higher energy scattering, proton proton scattering is much better than neutron proton scattering because of the interpretation of the theory and also the facilities which we will have to perform the scattering experiment. So PP scattering experiments are much better than neutron proton scattering as far as high energy scattering is concerned. But there is one more difficulty in high energy scattering compared to the low energy scattering. At the higher energies, instead of simple scattering, new particles called pi mesons, which are the field quanta of nuclear force, are also created. This creation of these additional particles complicates the analysis of a scattering process considerably. In the next video or in the next topic, we shall discuss neutron proton scattering at high energy in detail, particularly the experimental results, means scattering cross section versus scattering angle. Thank you.